Hello everybody, and welcome back to another Wingspan video, and another match from the Spectacled Tyrant Tangle. Remember, this tournament, at least in the first stage anyway, is a best of one double elimination, so I've already lost one game in this tournament so far, so I know if I lose one more, I'm going to be out, but hopefully we can keep the winning streak going here. This is another post-game commentary, because when I recorded this game, I knew I wasn't well enough to record over the top of it, so I was just able to focus enough to play, sitting on the sofa with a, with a blanket wrapped around me, not my usual playing state, my usual playing location. But now I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm able to record some post-game commentary for you and explain what was happening. So apologies, I'm still a little bit ill. You can hear it in the voice. I actually recorded this commentary the same day as the previous video's commentary. That's why there's been no difference. But hopefully by the time the next Wingspan video comes out, whatever that may be, hopefully I won't sound like this. So let's get into it. I am going to be going first in this game. So hopefully that will bode well. We'll see what's in our starting hand. And we have a Raven. I should really go and buy a lottery ticket, shouldn't I? That's 3 Ravens in a row. I've had 2 Ravens in my starting hand in the last 3 games. And then in the game in between, Woolly Wagtail found me another Raven. So this is going well. So haven't really got much going until this Raven, because I can't play the Raven round 1, because there are restrictions in play. So, slightly unfortunate. There's no bird in the tray that would give me good card draw until then. So I'm thinking I keep one of these 2 bonus card birds, just to fill out that slot and just dig a little bit and see what I can get. I know I need to get food for the Raven, so that's how I need to contemplate. Bullfinch wouldn't be too bad for that, so I'll be able to get 3 food in 1 turn. So I've got Oologist, so maybe with Abbott's Booby I might be able to discard that and then, you know, get a couple more in its place. We'll have to see. It's kind of weird how Oceania allows you to be able to play something like a King Rail or an Abbott's Booby like really early on. In baseboard, that would just be unthinkable. So, yeah, it looks like I'm going to get... I'll just play the Booby, unless something better pops up. I could spend a Nectar here to just draw 2 cards blindly, but that's just asking for trouble. I'd rather get the Booby down, because at least I'm going to get some more bonus cards, and I'll sort of... If I know them early, it'll be able to sort of steer my direction for the game. I picked up Oologist. We'll see if I can keep it or not. I mean, you never know. I think now, especially with the baseboard, eggs are a bit of an issue, so Oologist is quite difficult to get sometimes. I don't know if... I mean, I ideally want to sort of build out this grassland quite a lot with the Raven, but what happens if I don't find a lot of good grassland birds? I might end up having to... I mean, you never know. If I end up getting something like a chipping sparrow, California quail or something, I might end up playing Raven in the forest, maybe get even more food out of it. I'm not sure, so I can't guarantee that Oologist is going to be a good bonus card for me. So when I see what the other ones are, it's a bit tricky trying to make that decision early in the game because you don't know what's going to happen. We'll have to see. So I've always got 2 birds here, same as me. Obviously they don't know I've got a Raven. I kept a rat though, just in case the bird feeder is not cooperating with me. I don't have to worry about picking that up. I just pick up 2 other random food. I can play Raven at the beginning of the second round, first turn, without any concerns. You know, worst case scenario, I dig for the rest of this round, and then literally final turn of the round, I just throw a card to pick up 2 food. That is really the worst case scenario for me. I mean, hopefully I can do better than that. Omnivore is good because I've already got Raven, so that's good for me. They're all a little bit tricky, to be honest. I'm having to make assumptions about how the game is going to go before I'm going to... I suddenly realised I want to discard cards. I almost threw away the one card. Omnivore I'm definitely keeping. The other 2 I'm having to make sort of assumptions about what birds I'm going to get. At least Raven hits Bird Bander. So we need 3 more to try and get to the lower band of that. Maybe it was the wrong choice. I don't really know. My opponent's got Galar, which is kind of interesting. Okay. Sister Cola's good because I can play that with the Raven. Because obviously has a 1 food discount. Take up Bullfinch. I get there's suddenly a Woodstalk there. That's unfortunate. That'd have hit Omnivore. So that's a bit of an unfortunate one. Maybe I should have just been drawing blind there. Oh, but my opponent has left it, which I find is kind of interesting, to be honest. But my opponent's going to throw... I mean, I know the Galar's going to get a lot of action here. But if they're just going to throw seeds at me, I mean, I'm not going to say no. It'll help me get the Bullfinch down. It'll help me get the Raven down later. So Woodstalk's good. What was the other card I just picked up? The Snipe. I don't know if I want to be giving them free cards, but if I need it, then... I find a lot in this game, even if you're giving resources in terms of cards or food or stuff to your opponent, as long as you benefit out of it, I think in the long run it's fine. You just have to hope sometimes that the cards that you pick up are better than the cards that you're gifting your opponent. Sometimes it's not going to be that way, but there's not much you can do about it. So I'm still just going to keep drawing here. Not sure why I don't know why I kept the Hawk there. I'm not quite sure what I'm thinking. If I can do a lot of card drawing now, then it means once I do get the Raven down, I don't have to pick up cards a lot of times. I should have, hopefully, a nice hand of birds I can play. And more free food. Happy days. The Galar's getting a lot of action. So I'm playing the Hawk. I'm not quite sure why I'm ignoring Braid Sparrow, because Braid Sparrow would be pretty decent if I'm going Grassland. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what I'm thinking here. I did play this game a couple of days ago. I must admit, I was quite spaced out playing this game, just because I was quite ill. I was like, I have to play this game, I have to get it done, so I can forget about it. So hopefully, I won't get my comeuppance for that. Starling's interesting. So I might have excess food. I want to be playing birds, right? I don't want to be putting all the effort into putting down the Raven, and then I get something like a Chipping Sparrow. It's like, ah. You know what I mean? I could have had Braid Sparrow, Chipping Sparrow, Raven, you know, Grassland already. You know what I mean? And just, you know, I'd be getting more eggs every round. Having to spend 1 on the Raven, we're getting 2 back from those other birds. I could just run that all the time and then just get all the food I need to play. Things like, I mean, Starling maybe, Woodstalk. So yeah, back on Red Star would be nice, but then with Raven I don't really need it. So yeah, it feels like I've had a little bit of a disjointed beginning here. I'm really surprised I didn't go Bullfinch. I went the Hawk. I'm not quite sure what that was all about. But never mind. I assume there is some sort of plan here. It's like watching a different player. So it's like a world of discovery. What's this idiot Scott Sword doing? I mean, Mannequin. I mean, that would have been a nice bird to have. Oh my god, that's now twice. That's now 2 games in a row. I've had a predator bird. Eat the Mannequin. Oh dear. But anyway. So I'm not quite sure. My opponent is just going Galar, which I think is kind of interesting. They're getting 2. They give me a seed every time, but they're getting 2 cards as well. It almost seems like they've got a Raven or something like that they can't play. That's what it feels like, but don't know. So I've got plenty of food here, so I can easily go Sister Cola into Raven. Silver Eye, I probably won't want to activate, so I don't want to give Nectar to my opponent, but then for Bird Bander, it's pretty good. That's a good start, but they haven't got any card draw, which is kind of what you want. So I might have to play the snipe just to try and get a little bit of extra card draw of my own. If I got excess eggs, I can then throw them. Yeah, just keep getting the free food. Suddenly realise that there is a nectar there, so I'd rather deny a nectar. You just never know. You just never know. So here we go. Let's get this Sister Cola down. Of all this food I've got stocked up, let's actually do something with it. I've got so much food stocked up, maybe I don't need the Raven, but never mind. We're playing it. At least we're able to get some nectar. The good thing is the Starling is a bird that just needs any food. It's not a specific, like Common Swift, that needs only worms. So any excess food I can throw into the Starling, that's kind of nice. But I want to try and get that down this round, so I can actually get 3 rounds worth of use out of it. American Bittern, okay, that's good for me, because I'll be given a card as well. So I actually don't want to play Birds into the Wetland at the moment. So I want to try and get as much use as possible out of that Bittern, unless I'm just going to ignore that completely and play the Snipe. Which is very possible. Sounds like something I would do. I should have said, yeah, a Branta V or Branta 5 is my opponent this round. So yeah, I don't know why I'm looking at the snipe so long. I don't know what. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what that's about. How to think about Birdbander? Yeah, yeah, a very weird beginning. Very, very strange. But at least the Oceania board allows you to do things like to play a booby and you still get 2 cards then. Not like base board, where you're in the base board you're really looking for a decent wetland, but they'll give you card draw, so you're not having to throw an egg every time to get 2 cards out of it. Out of that turn. So that's probably one thing I do like about Oceania. It makes the beginning bit of the game just that little bit nicer. So I don't mind it. This Savannah Sparrow is interesting. It can build up, even though it's not going to give me any ability per se, it will allow me to build out the grasslands much quicker. And I'm just playing the snipe anyway. I don't seem to care that my opponent's giving me free stuff with the Oh, never mind, I've changed my mind. Cool. I mean, I'm also thinking about the second round and a round goal, I am assuming. So if I can get the snipe down and then the sparrow down, I can get 3 birds of that nest type, which should be good to win. So I'm throwing a nectar here to get a nectar spent in that habitat, and then I can get 2 nectar back from the raven, so I'm netting a nectar every time. Yep. Changed my mind and I'm doing the exact same action again. You can see I'm kind of a little bit sort of disjointed here in terms of trying to work out what I should be doing. I would have loved that braid sparrow, that would be nice, but maybe I would have run out of egg space if I just kept activating it, so I don't know. See, if I can get into that 4th column, then I can guarantee myself 3 eggs every time if I'm activating the grassland, which is pretty good. My opponent doesn't have any pink powers yet to counter this grassland, so that's good. I'm looking at this starling. If I want to play it, I should play it sooner rather than later, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely feel like I need a little bit more card draw. Maybe I should have just committed and played the snipe and just picked up some cards for a bit. And that might give me a bit of a direction, but oh well. If I've got a plan in my head, I'm going to play Sparrow and then Starling, then I think that's fine. I feel like a lot of games, the same, the other game that I mostly play through, Dracula, or at least the one I play at a competitive level. It's kind of the same. Even if you're maybe making mistakes, as long as you've got some sort of plan, then that's better than just having no plan and just going from bit to bit, not really knowing what you're doing. If you've got something in your head, then that's better than just floundering and just, you know, hopping between all the different habitats, not really knowing what to do. So, if I've got it in my head, I want to get the starling down ASAP, then okay, fine. We'll go along with it, I suppose. I don't know if that's the right thing to do or not. Interesting. Leave comments below. What would you do in this situation? Are you happy with the birds I've already got? Would you be rushing down the starling here with, and also then using the sparrow to do it, or would you be trying to dig a bit more? The cool thing is, I don't mind if I have an excess nectar at the end of the round, because I can just throw them onto the starling and keep all the other food for the next round. So, you know, I think the plan here is going to be lay eggs, play snipe, and then lay eggs again, just so I can then get another bird for that end of round goal. I'm going first in the third round, so if there's anything good in the tray, then I can pick it up. Get a little bit more card draw, and hopefully get some nice birds. That would be worth playing. My opponent's just going to give me more cards, and now I've got Collared Dove, and now am I going to double up here in the grassland and go, you know, double... I wish I had that before, because I could have played Starling in the wetland, and then Collared Dove in the grassland. That would have been cool. Idiot, you need to lay eggs. Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. I didn't get the dove first. Is that too much? If I go starling dove? Is that a little bit too... Is that just a little bit too much? I mean, if I want to get 10... food for the final end of round, then I'd have to basically activate the grassland 5 times. Which means I'm not doing anything else. I'm not playing birds. So I think maybe the dove might just be a little bit, you know, that'd be maybe biting off more than I can chew here. I think I'll just go with the starling. Leftover food could be used for things like this. Woodstalk, you know, the snipe. Hopefully find some nice birds that can hit bird bander. We'll have to see. I've definitely got at least 4 points from Omnivore, so I'm not stressing about that as much. I know there's a Malifaux in the tray. That is an Omnivore bird. But that'll give me some extra eggs at the end of the game, but yeah, I'm just not quite feeling that bird, I don't think. I don't know if it would be worth it. Don't know if it would be worth it. Okay, so my opponent's done a double play. I don't know if I'm going to look at their board or not. I'm going to guess I don't. I don't look at my opponent's boards enough in general, but also being sick then just means I'm going to look at... I'm even more unlikely to look at it. So, we'll just lay eggs here. It's a very easy final turn of this round, so we're about halfway through the game already. So we'll just... I think a lot of it's just going to depend. I'm going to get the food. I'm going to have food with the raven. That's not an issue. The big issue is going to be, can I actually find the birds that give me loads of points? Can I find a nice bird that's going to sort of finish off this grassland? I mean, maybe there's an argument that I played the Silver Eye in the grassland, and I just say, okay, I'm going to throw a nectar to my opponent, but I get 3 nectar every turn. That'll allow me to sort of get big point birds down easier, but then I'd prefer to have some sort of bonus card bird there, or something, or a wild turkey, or something like that. Something that's going to be worth more points, I think. Does hit bird bander, so that's the only thing. My opponent just utilizing this Galar over and over. If they're not drawing a lot of cards, then I'm okay with that. I'm just throwing the seeds now at this point. My opponent's going to be all these seeds. I don't think I need them all. So using them for an extra egg is not necessarily a bad idea. Again, it's kind of similar to the previous game. Again, maybe it was a wrong thing to do, but I feel if I've got a little bit of excess food early, I'd rather throw it to get those eggs banked up, because maybe later on, I might not be able to go into the grassland as much as I want, because I want to be playing lots of birds. There's 5 nectar. Gone onto the starling. That's 5 points. That's good. And nothing in the tree that's really screaming at me, unfortunately. Yeah. Not great. Not great. I wish there was something in this grassland. I know it wouldn't have been built out as quickly, but if I just had something that I could, like something like a house finch or a swallow or something, so I just get a little bit of card draw as well as laying eggs and getting the food with the raven. That would be great. But it hasn't appeared, so you know, there's not a huge amount I can do about it. I just have to keep going and hope I get something good. I'm nowhere near full on eggs at this point, but I think I'm just gonna have to maybe play the stalk and then just dig for a few turns just so I can try and get some stuff. Because otherwise, I'm just gonna end up with so much food late game and then nothing to really use it on. I'd rather dig this round, and then I can formulate a plan for the sixth round? The final round, the 4th round of the game. Rather than going into the 4th round not knowing what on earth I'm going to be playing. Okay, so my opponent's just going to throw nectars at me now, which is great. That's definitely good for me. If I'm getting 2 free food every time they activate their forest like that, assuming the bird feeder is going to cooperate, that is just, yeah, just going to make my life a lot easier in terms of not having to activate the grassland as much. I can throw down, you know, I can spend more time just playing birds, or it's just more food for the starling, which is just even better. So that's good. My opponent's in the mood for sharing, which is good. So yeah. I'm not a fan of, well, I can't remember what I pick here. I mean, the fact I'm so close to getting at least 3 points with Backyard Birder, I might just take it, even though it feels really bad to be having to play 5 birds just to get 3 points. The issue is, Forest Data Analyst, it's going to be maybe tricky to work. You know, the Hawk is already quite a big bird, so I'm going to have to be decreasing in size, but then often that'll mean I'll be playing lower point birds, which is not really what I want to be doing. So I've decided to go with Backyard Bird. I can just maybe hopefully find just 1 to play. So yeah, not the best bonus cards, to be honest. It's all a little bit awkward, but it's okay. We've still got time. If I can get another good forest bird down, I hopefully be able to compete for the 4th end round. I mean, the Backyard Bird is actually sort of synergizing with this end of round goal currently. So, you know, that's kind of nice. I didn't really plan for that. I wasn't really looking at that 3rd end of round goal. As long as I qualified for it. If I'm in contention to win it, then that's not a bad thing. Now, my opponent getting bonus card bird. That would be nice for me. That's right, good find for them. The Zulu Bunting. I mean, I did talk about some sort of, you know, or something like that. Yeah. Not quite what I want, to be honest. So how to get... I need to see more cards here, because these are not really... I mean... Yeah, this is not the most inspiring stuff. Maybe I should have just played the dove and just taken food. There's nothing that's hitting Backyard Bird or anything that I want to play that's hitting Backyard Birder. Because it's less than 4 points. Not 4 points. So the bunting wouldn't hit. I mean, the bunting gives me more eggs, but then at the same time it's only the Sister Cola that can take those eggs at this current moment. I don't have other bowl nest down currently. The Flycatcher is okay. Good for nest space. You know, egg space for the final end of round, but I'm not going to be activating it because I'm not going to be going into the forest. So yeah, it's all just a little bit awkward. So I'm trying to think, do I want to play the Frogmouth in the grassland? If I do, I can't play it right now unless I overpay. So do I take eggs and then play the Frogmouth? And then so I'm only activating it once this round. Do I dig again? I'm still looking at this Collared Dove because maybe I might just want to play it anyway. Yeah, I'm not very happy with this situation. I've got you know, I've got the eggs. I'm getting the food with the raven. I haven't got anything that I really want to play. I need to try and get nectar in the forest at some point, so I can at least qualify for that to get at least 2 points. I might not win it. I'm definitely going to win the grassland at this rate. If I've already got 7 nectar, that's looking pretty good. If I'm using nectar on the starling, I play nectar to play, you know, the final grassland bird. So I'm really torn here between, you know, taking cards, playing Frogmouth or playing the Zulu Bunting. I've hovered the, you know, the Frogmouth to play it for now. I've got the food for it, so that's not the issue. It's just, is that really the bird I want to finish off this grassland? Do I dig more? Is the bunting better? So I'll get some extra eggs. Is it too late for the bunting? Probably. It all feels a little bit awkward, to be honest. I got the grassland maxed out, which is nice, but I'm not exceedingly happy with it. I guess if the Lizard Bunnies give me extra eggs, I can throw them for card draw. I'm just worried I'm going to run out of turns, right? Because I need to get, you know, the sets of eggs for the final end of round sorted. So I can't spend a huge number of turns in the last round drawing cards and playing birds. I need to be laying eggs. At least I've got 2 eggs on the hawk already, so they can stay put for now. My opponent does have bowl nest space, so, you know, there's not much I can do about that. Probably should have looked at that before playing the bunting. So I mean, the bunting gives me a point more than the frogmouth, assuming that assume the frogmouth hits every time. But frogmouth is also worth a point more. So if I activate the grasslet enough, the bunting will pay off. I'm also giving points to my opponent, so I don't know. It's not the best. It's definitely a case of not having. I mean, if I had something like I can't remember what it's called now. The grebe that I had in the previous game, the one that allows you to draw as many cards as there are empty spaces in the wetland, that would be great. Okay, my opponent managed to tie the end of round, even though I had a 4-2 lead, 2 turns to go, so that was very good for them. Now Moltoni comes up. Now that would have been nice a little bit earlier, because I would have hit backyard birder. And I would have to go into the forest and stuff, but I wouldn't have maybe minded it if Hawk hits and if I can help me play some birds. So yeah, I mean, a bird bander I need at least, I've got the frogmouth and the silver eye currently. But they're not really the sort of birds I want to be playing at this point. I want to try and find some better stuff. So, yeah. Okay. I'm laying eggs. Okay, I'm not quite sure why I'm laying eggs. I assume to get the food, to maybe play the frogmouth, but why am I playing the frogmouth? Am I playing the frogmouth in the wetlands and I dig? I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe it's not me, maybe it's somebody else who played this game. So I actually generally don't remember what I'm doing here. I remember the result of the game, but that's it. I don't remember anything else. Everything else is a blur, so I generally don't know what I'm doing here. Very insightful commentary. So yeah, I assume I'm going to be playing the frogmouth here in the wetland, so then I can draw 3 cards and potentially throw away an egg to get a 4th one, and then snipe to get a 5th one. Try and find a good forest bird and then just lay eggs and get the set sorted, but yeah, not a big fan of this. At least I'll be able to max out the starling, so that's, that's 15 points. Snowy Owl, that's decent. That would have hit Bird Bander, so I wouldn't have minded that. Okay, now I've got a Lapwing, which hits both Bird Bander and also Backyard Birder, right? So, that's not a bad, even though it's only worth 1 point on its own, that actually helps me out quite a bit. And then it means that saves me a turn from going into the grassland. Oh, I didn't actually throw away an egg for another card. I'm actually really surprised. Okay. So, I haven't played this Lapwing before, so if I do play it, then that's going to be the first time. The bird feeder could screw me over and not give me much, but you have to assume that I'll get quite a lot of food out of it. So yeah, I'm just a tad confused about everything. At least if I play the Frogmouth and the Lapwing, then that's me up to all the all the necessary stuff for the bonus cards, at least for the lower band. Raven would be. I would have loved to have the Raven. That would have been great because I've had all this excess food I could or cash, whichever the Raven one does. So yeah, that'd be nice. So I am playing the Lapwing. And I get 5 food out of it, which is pretty good. That's pretty good. So I can definitely play something here, which is worth 3 food. So I can get the Bird Bander points. And then I can lay eggs, and I won't need to use the raven because I have enough for the starling. So that's pretty good. Yeah, if only the starling was in wetland and I had the dove, then that lapwing could have got me, you know, 5 points on the other one, but it's okay. It's fine. Playing something in the forest is quite important too, because I want to try and get above 2 sets, just to try and make it so my opponent maybe can't challenge for it. It would also help if I looked at my opponent's board to see, you know, what the numbers were. I probably would look at that at some point. If I remember rightly, I'm just looking here in terms of egg space on these different birds, and also trying to work out, well, Frogmouth is worth a point more, but then, you know, Silvereye has another egg space. Is that going to matter? How many sets do I need to win? Am I going to need 4 or 5 sets to win the end of the round? I hope 4 will be enough. Now I'm actually looking at my opponent's board. See, Australian Raven would be great, so it hit the bird banner and I can throw all this extra food at it. So, especially if my opponent's giving me even more food. But that's something I couldn't control. So yeah, do I need to play Lapwing? Maybe not. Maybe I should have played something like the Grosbeak instead, because I would have got just more points from it. So I think by the looks of it, I'm going to have food at the end of the game that's just floating around, doing nothing. So yeah, maybe I should have played something like Frogmouth in the wetland, and then played, I don't know, something else. Maybe like the woodpecker into the in the forest, and then that'd have been better. So I didn't expect my opponent to give me even more food from the... I mean, I guess from the Galar makes sense, because my opponent's getting 2 points out of it. And eventually, if I just have so much leftover food, I'm not going to be able to use it all anyway. So yeah, the Lapwing probably wasn't worth it, to be honest. The fact, on its own, just playing that is -1 point. Because I have to spend 2 eggs for it. It did allow me to complete 2 bonus cards, or progress towards 2 bonus cards. So I guess only 1, right? Because the Frogmouth would have completed the other. So yeah, and now I'm sitting on 6. Can I count? 6, 9 food, right? So I'm 4 food, you know, too many. So yeah, Lapwing probably. But if I played something else, I would have had to spend more food. I don't know. I mean, feel free to leave your comments below. Would you just kept digging for better stuff? I'd just be worried that the game would just refuse to give me good things. What was if I dug, you know, 2 or 3 more turns, I got nothing out of it. At least now I'm trying to play birds and trying to get something out of it. There's always the risk you take, I suppose. So I'm making sure here that I get, you know, 4 eggs at least in the wetland and 4 eggs definitely in the forest. That gives me 4 of those sets done. So yeah, not the best. Definitely not as good as the last game, that's for sure. I think we got, was 126 was last game, I think? So at least I won that end of round, so I won 4 of the end of rounds, and I tied the other one, so that's going well for me. I think like it looks like we've tied on Nectar. So yeah, that's good for me, but I don't have a huge number of bird points. My bonus cards aren't great, so I kind of have to hope my opponent didn't get good bonus cards either. Won the Grassland Nectar by a country mile, but it doesn't matter, it's still the same number of points. And we tied the wetland one. So we tied on Nectar. So we're going to the final scores, we'll see. Definitely not feeling as confident as the last game. So we're even on that. I got a little bit of a lead on bonus cards, so that might just be enough. That made me feel a little bit better. Got the egg, I got the end of round goals, and got the egg, so I'm a dominant on those. That's decent. Tuck cards where my opponent's going to make it. Actually, not as much of a comeback as I thought because of the Starling. The Starling did a lot of work there. And we got the win. 118 points to 102. So yeah, about, yeah, just under, a little bit, you know, 8 points lower than last game. But still got 16-point wins. That's decent. So yeah, I feel like I maybe got away with one here a little bit. I didn't feel I played this game incredibly well. Maybe not a huge surprise given how I was feeling, but I think I got a little bit unlucky in terms of bonus cards weren't great, and then also I wasn't drawing amazing stuff. The Raven is definitely what I would have wanted. Snowy Owl, Woodpecker. Galar got 18 tucks. Um, but yeah, I think both of us were kind of struggling a little bit for the card draw. And yeah, we even like there's even like a wild turkey in my opponent's hand. I mean, I would have loved to have a card like that. Um, like or even a heron, 6-point heron would have been decent, better than the lapwing. So yeah, um, a 4 food left over wasn't used for anything, unfortunately. It just is what it is. But yeah, not the best game, but I can't complain too much when you get a Raven in your starting hand. Um, uh, it could have definitely gone a lot worse. So I should maybe go and buy a lottery ticket in terms of the amount of Ravens which are popping up for me, and they're working for me, thankfully. But that's going to end eventually. I can't keep getting Ravens. I need to also learn to win without the Ravens. So yeah, it's yeah, definitely a bit weird. I don't know, was bunting the right idea? Should I have gone Frogmouth there and put something else in the forest? But then, how many times did I activate the bunting? At least I activated at least 3 times, I think. So, that's another 6 points. So yeah, maybe it was worth it. I'm not too sure. I preferred it earlier. Braid Sparrow earlier would have been better. So yeah, I don't know. Weird one. But I'm happy to hear any comments and stuff. And yeah, as I said, hopefully in the next game I'll be a bit more fighting fit. A for the gameplay and also for the commentary. So hopefully we can get those scores going back up again. But we'll have to just see how the birds want to appear. Sometimes the birds don't want to cooperate with you, and that's just the same with any game, I suppose. But yeah, GG my opponent. Good effort. Kind of a lot of games where both players are over 100, so it's definitely definitely now I've got to make sure I get over 100 every game because otherwise you're not, even then it might not be in contention to win anyway. But if you're below 100, it's not going to be good enough. So yeah, got to keep aiming high as much as possible and keep learning stuff. So yeah, I'm going to go and take a rest because I've done this commentary and the commentary from the previous game, and I'm feeling quite fatigued. I'm clearly not over whatever this cold is, so I'm going to stop rambling. Thank you everybody for watching. Hopefully for the next game in this tournament, 'cause now you know that I've won. I've regressed through, so there'll be another best of one appearing soon on the channel. I've got to wait for the other players to play their games, but hopefully a couple of days after you'll see this video, hopefully I'll be able to play that game and release on the channel for you. And hopefully I'll be in a much better state, so I'll be a bit more lively and not as rambly. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. If there are any comments about things I should have done differently, please leave it in the description box below. In the comments below. There we go. We'll get that right. And also, because this is probably going to come out on Saturday or Sunday, or maybe Friday, something like that, late week. Doesn't matter. Next Wednesday, if you're watching this, on the day that is released or very soon after, just let you know that I will be streaming Wingspan on Twitch on Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Spanish time. So that's 9 p.m. UTC. So if anyone knows, there's also normally another Wingspan live stream on Wednesdays with Wing Its channel. Once that finishes, then I'll be doing a live stream of Wingspan. So by all means, come along, say hi. If you want to play a game, let me know in chat or let me know beforehand, and we can organize, a 1v1 or a 3-player game or something. I'd be really keen to play. So yeah, feel free to come and check it out. Link to the Twitch chat or the Twitch channel in the description below. I'm going to rest. Take care, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.